I've always wanted to go to Canada because Canadians are world renowned for how nice they are. But on this August 27th episode of Monday Night Raw, when Roman Reigns came out of the entrance area and they booed him so hard, I was like, man, Canadians can be mean, and we'll get a little bit to more on that later. But Roman returned the meanness, if you didn't notice. When he went over and he fist bumped that little kid, and then there was that other kid with his hand up, and Roman goes, it was like, beep. The first 10 minutes of Raw can be about summed up as, where's Braun Strowman? Here I am. All you do is say, get these hands. I'm gonna cash in my money in the bank at Hell in a Cell. 10-minute summaries. What would you do without them? But out of nowhere, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre come out and interrupt these two and start saying how they're at the top of the mountain and the only way to go from there is tumbling down. And then Baron Corbin comes out and goes, oh my gosh, I got this amazing idea, guys. How about we have a match between you two and you two? Nobody ever thought of that before. I'm Baron Corbin, acting general manager of Raw. No, seriously, he was like, no one ever thought of this. And then Baron Corbin heads out to the ring because he has a surprise match he's gonna announce. It's him versus Finn Balor again. And since he didn't give Finn Balor a heads up, he doesn't have to worry about facing the demon. He has to face Finn Balor. So these two kick off the night with their one-on-one matchup. And Baron Corbin, he's pretty prepared for this match. You got to give him that. He did have 7 days to train and get ready for this. And then Finn Balor's doing all right, even though he had 30 seconds notice. But then out of nowhere, I'm Baron Corbin. I got a chair. Disqualification, of course. But acting general manager Baron Corbin, who's basically a supervillain at this point with the power that he has right now, decides, oh, hey, wait, it's not a DQ because this is a no disqualification match. Sorry, guys, I had so much going on this week, I just forgot to tell you. So Finn Balor stands back up, Baron Corbin takes the chair, whack, right across Finn Balor's back, hits him with the end of days, and it's an easy 1, 2, 3 for what we're gonna have this week as Dumbo of the Week.
This truly is an honor and a privilege, and I don't know what this award is. I am too busy.
So even though it's still like a month and a half away, we're getting another video package for the last time ever. Tonight they're focusing on Hall of Famers, WWE legends that are talking about The Undertaker taking on Triple H for the last time ever. This package had Ric Flair, Jeff Jarrett, Mick Foley, Christian, and Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash phoned it in, like literally. And they talked about the match. So next up we have Dana Brooke and Apollo in the back talking about that she's getting her first match in 9 months. How are you a wrestler in a wrestling company and you've only had one match in 9 months on television? What the balls, man? And then Titus O'Neil comes in and goes, guess what? Your match is next against Sasha Banks. And then they come out to the entrance ramp and they go, Titus Worldwide, or however they do it. And then Sasha Banks, well, Sasha came out first. I should say that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get it flip-flopped, but that's what happened. Unfortunately for Dana Brooke, she spent most of this time pandering to Titus O'Neil and Apollo, which I can, some of my Raw Loaf expert opinion, can say that that's probably why Banks was able to get the one-up on Dana Brooke tonight with a backstabber rolling into the Banks statement. Vintage Sasha Banks. But what did you expect after 9 months of wearing suits, Dana Brooke? So we're backstage again, and Jinder Mahal approaches Dean Ambrose. And Jinder Mahal was just like, hey, I want to help you find your inner peace. And he started to try to talk Dean through it. Dean closed his eyes, and there was no inner peace to be had. I see broken ribs, I see crying. Oh, what I would pay to see Jinder Mahal cry. How wonderful of a world would that be? Yeah, I didn't care if he's a bad person or not. Just that image of that man with those big muscly veins crying would be kind of funny. But ultimately, he was trying to help Dean, and Dean was mean back. Seth Rollins makes his way out to the ring and issues an open challenge to anybody who wants a shot at the Intercontinental title. So Kevin Owens comes out to a major cheer from the crowd, probably because he's from Canada. They temporarily forget things sometimes up there, that he's not a good guy, but he's from Canada, but the Canada thing will outweigh the bad guy thing. And he says, so Seth Rollins, you got your best friends, you got your title, you got your CrossFit, and man, I wish I had my CrossFit.
Tell me I'm pretty.
Kevin Owens then says, oh man, there is not a better place to win this title than in Toronto. Oh wait, what about Montreal? And the crowd gave us the largest cheer to the largest boo that I think I've heard within a 5-second, maybe it was 10 seconds. But it was a quick cheer to boo ratio. Kevin Owens also did say he is not leaving Raw tonight without a title. So he puts it all on the line, and after this match commences, you can see what he meant. This match was pretty much all Kevin Owens through the whole match. Kevin Owens pulled out a swagger bomb. That's how serious he was about this. He kind of added his own little twist in at the end with an elbow drop, but he did a swagger bomb, and I think that if you are dead serious about becoming champion, you need to pull out the swagger bomb. And he also pulled out a stunner, a stone cold stunner. He tried to do his suplex thing off the second rope, top rope, and he couldn't get that done. But boy, howdy, he hit everything on Seth Rollins except the pop-up power bomb, which is probably all he needed to do to finish Rollins. But Kevin Owens goes up to the second rope, and he jumps up to the top rope and turns. He jumps up to the top rope, and he turns, and he does a moonsault. And he misses, and he set himself right up for that curb stomp. Unfortunately for him, but fortunately for all of us, Seth Rollins retains his Intercontinental title. Now, I believe it was at the end of this match that I think it was Jonathan Coachman that has said these two men have earned each other's respect. I don't know where you have been, Coach, but when has Kevin Owens respected anybody? Never. I don't know what to tell you, but I have something later to tell you. So we cut to the announce table where I learned something tonight that you can tweet on Instagram. Thanks, Michael Cole, for that bit of knowledge. So Baron Corbin's in the back on his cell phone. Braun Strowman comes in and goes,
Here's your money in the bank contract.
and he puts the briefcase on the table and walks off. And Baron Corbin looks at it, looks at the briefcase, and he picks it up and he looks at it and he pats it. And this whole time, I'm thinking there's an actual contract in the briefcase, but it looks like there's not. It just looks like you can just have this briefcase and that's your contract, which that means we can all go out there and I guess just make our own briefcases as long as we make it look legit. See how great of an idea that was? My body was like, what? Why haven't we thought of this before? So then there's a commercial that plays during the commercial break. Tyler breathes and FON don't go are at CarMax, and they're not uniform, disguises, and they're trying to buy a car. And then Tyler Breeze goes, oh, we want to check out that one. And then the lady goes, here's the keys to your car. Didn't look like they had to purchase it or do anything. They just said, hey, we want to drive that one. And then she's like, here are your keys to your car. Is getting a car really that easy at CarMax? Or is that false advertising? So after all of this, we come back to the ring, and Kevin Owens is still in the ring, and he's sitting on a chair. He's got his microphone. Nobody's bothered to come out to tell him to get out of there. He's just sitting there, and he sits there, and the crowd's booing him, and he's looking around like he's just lost. And he says the two words that you never want to say when you're in an I quit match. I quit. And then Kevin Owens walks out, and he's removing his wrist tape, and he's throwing it on the floor, and he just walks out. And the people are like, ah! And there were quite a few people that looked upset about this, but I mean, he's not a nice guy. Dang! And then Renee Young's like, I don't know what that was. And then she's with Team D&D, and they are standing there talking about what is right. And oh man, they had the chance at the end there to say that what they're gonna do is right, and they didn't do it. Shame on you two. if you're gonna be bad guys, you might as well be good bad guys, but you're just bad guys now. Disgusting. But yeah, they figure that Braun has had 2 shots at the title and lost both times, and Roman had 2 championship matches in the last like 8 days, and so they can't be in 100%. So we might as well kick a dog while he's down. So next up we have the B team taking on the Revival in a non-title match. And within like 10 seconds while the BT's coming out, we see 2 different types of fans. First, we see the fan who's wearing the B team t-shirt, but he's just standing there like, what's going on? I don't know who are these guys? And then it was either before or right after that, they cut to another kid who's all like, B team, go, go, go. And then he just starts shooting like, wow, this guy's a super fan and this guy is just wearing a t-shirt. Don't be the guy that's wearing a t-shirt, because you guys are the most annoying people in the world, man. If you're just gonna wear a t-shirt, wear a t-shirt of your favorite movie or something. Why spend the money on something? I don't know. I don't get it. I guess you can be a fan and not be into it. So the B team at the beginning of this match just take it and run with it. And they are putting it to the Revival. But in the end, the Revival gets in a shadow machine on Curtis Axel for the 1, 2, 3. And they pretend like they're going to leave. Oh, we won. We're done here. But you know that's not going to happen. Bo Dallas goes in and he starts attending to Michael. Oh my God. That's his. They say he's not Michael McGillicuddy. Why do I keep thinking that? That's like some other person. But he looks down at Curtis Axel and he's like, oh, are you okay, bud? But there's one thing you should know, Bo. That rhymed. Don't turn your back on the Revival. They're bad guys. They go in there, they hit the shadow machine on Bo Dallas. They go and grab the tag team titles. They grab microphones and they go into the ring and say, we just proved we can take the titles anytime we want to. Well, Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, if you could take the titles anytime you want to, why have you lost the last couple times you could have? Next up, we have a concert from Elias, and it's these Toronto fans. I don't know what they're putting in their water up there in Toronto, but they start off loving Elias, and then they end up hating him. Like, this is really bad here. It happens about every week for some reason. I don't know. People just seem to forget that he's like a bad person. Like, he's no good. He doesn't care about you. And I don't know why people think they can care about him, but every week people forget that he's a bad guy. It's just weird. But then he starts taking dumps all over the city of Toronto. And then everybody's favorite, Diva. Is that a bad word? I mean, that's what she always was, wasn't she? Well, everybody's favorite part of TNA came out. And these two had quite the verbal exchange. It was like low blow after, can you low blow a lady? Like, I don't know, I've never done it. If you have, please leave in the comments below and tell me what it feels like. On both ends. Dang, but the worst part, boy howdy, let me tell you, was when Elias looked at Trish right in the eyes and said the one thing that you'd never say to a woman. He basically looked into her eyes and said, you're old. He did say, sorry for you, but I don't date women in their 60s. And if you're gonna learn anything from watching today's episode of the Raw Loaf, if you're a male and you're trying to get with a female, or if you're a female trying to get with a female, you never tell her that she looks old. What's wrong with you? Woo, woo, woo. Then Ronda the Roller Coaster Rousey's music hits. She comes out, and then Natalia's music hits, and then Natalia comes out, and then Alexa Bliss music's hit, and Alexa comes out. But Alicia Fox is the one having the match with Natalia, but Alicia Fox's music never plays, which I don't understand. But Alexa's up there, she's making fun of those three, and then she goes, we got a friend too, Trish, you know her quite well, and it's Mickie James. And for you younger fans out there that weren't around when this feud between Mickie James and Trish Stratus was going on, you were probably too young to fully understand and appreciate what Mickie James was doing. But Alexa did say that she's invoking her rematch clause and she's gonna take that title back away from Ronda the Roller Coaster Rousey at Hell in a Cell. So during this Alicia Fox versus Natalya match, at one point Mickie James and Alexa Bliss get Natalya in there like choking her and hitting her at the ring apron. The ref's distracted by Alicia Fox, and Ronda Rousey and Trish Stratus are basically the two worst friends you could ever have, because they are sitting there watching their friend get beat up like 15 to 20 feet away. They're just seeing Mickie James and Alexa just pounding on Natalya. Natalya is supposedly Ronda the Roller Coaster Rousey's best friend, but they are just sitting there watching it happen. And they're like, go over the ref! Go ref! Ref, look over there, ref! Ref, look over there, ref! Ref, look over there! I don't know why you would just let your friend get beat up like that. Like, you must be afraid to like fight, or I don't know, it was weird. I'm pretty sure that if I had a friend that just let me get beat up and was like, hey cops, look over there, cops! Cops, look over there. I'd be like, oh, you guys aren't that good of friends. I guess you're not invited to my birthday party, which is next month, and I'm gonna drink a lot of beer. So no more beer for you friends who don't want to help me. But in the end, we get the sharpshooter from Natalya and box taps within 2 seconds, and everybody is happy except for Alexa, Mickie, and Alicia. Afterwards, the good trio are walking through the back, and there are the Bellas, and the Bellas are like, hey, we have an announcement to make. We're gonna wrestle next week. Isn't Brie on SmackDown or something? But I guess it doesn't matter. Next up, we got some more legends and WWE Hall of Famers weighing in on the last time between Undertaker and Triple H, and I thought it was gonna be a clean sweep for The Undertaker as Booker T, Big Show, and one other guy that I gotta look down for, Diamond Dallas Page, Diamond Donald Page. I really like that name. That's a funny name. But Stone Cold Steve Austin shakes his head no and goes, hell yeah! Triple H is gonna take the game. Because he is the game. Or he said something like that. So Baron Corbin's in the back. He's trying to get a masseuse. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-doo. Good for you, general manager. Bobby Lashley comes in and says, hey, I don't remember what happened in that match, but I'm gonna say something that's close and I hope everybody else forgets. But good job making matches and stuff. He said that Baron Corbin made it a no disqualification in the middle of the match, but it was actually after the match. So Baron Corbin tells Bobby Lashley, yeah, you got a match and it's right now, get out there. Oh, there's so much going on, I can't remember who the match was against. Bobby Lashley goes out there and finds out it's a 2-on-1 handicap match featuring half of The Mask and the big bad boo-boo voodoo daddy, Victor and Connor, the Ascension. Connor is scary. So Bobby Lashley's taking a little bit of a whooping, but then he does the smart thing of what you should do in a 2-on-1 handicap match. He hit one of the guys out of the ring, so there's only one guy in the ring, and then he hit his finisher, and he pinned Victor for the 1-2-3. Good job, Bobby Lashley. More wrestlers should think like you. Next up, we have Jinder Mahal, who's already in the ring, and he's going to be taking on Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose found his vest for the Shield. Good job, buddy. Now you can look like your friends. But he's taking on Jinder Mahal. I mean, it's kind of smart. I mean, at first I was like, why is Dean such a bad person? I thought he's a good guy. But Sunil was on the outside, and Dean just like rolled him over. Like you might as well not even come out there, Sunil. He just, bam, knocked him out. Man, every episode of the Raw Loaf since I've started again, I've burped in the middle of something. I don't know why that is, that's weird. But I did eat some chili. But in the end, Jinder Mahal goes for the Colossus, but then gets reversed into the Dirty Deeds. And in the end, Dean Ambrose wins. So we get a quick clip of Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns in the back, and Braun's like, we're not friends. So next up, it's main event time, and we got Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns taking on Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. And at the beginning of this match, Dolph slaps Roman Reigns and says, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? Or what are you gonna do about it? Or something like that. And then one of the commentators goes, well, I don't think the smart thing to do is to smack around Roman Reigns, and then somebody's like, oh, maybe the move you need to make after you talk smack to Roman Reigns is duck. And then the coach goes, duck. Coach, what are you doing there? And Roman Reigns is getting dominated here by Team D&D. Just like for 10-15 minutes, it feels like, just beating him up in the middle of the ring. Braun Strowman again, he's done this before. He's on the outside of the ring and he's going wild and he's like, wah, wah. And Drew McIntyre looks right at Strowman and just starts laughing. And it's kind of hard to not laugh at. It's such a big guy, like trying to get everybody pumped up. It's kind of out of the ordinary for sure. And at one point, Roman Reigns is about to make the tag. Drew McIntyre is holding on to him and he does an over the head belly to belly suplex. Throws Roman right back into his corner, right into Drew's corner. Wow, that's quite an overhead belly to belly there, McIntyre. Good job, you D. Wow, I just myself. And then Roman Reigns actually tags Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman doesn't enter the ring. And I'm thinking, oh, he's just gonna walk away and let Dolph and Drew do whatever they want to him. But he's just standing there, like smiling. And then Dolph and Drew are in there and just kicking him and kicking him and kicking him and kicking him. And then the referee just like disqualifies, I guess he disqualifies Drew and Dolph, which doesn't make sense because the two illegal guys are Dolph Ziggler and Roman Reigns. And so technically, the two illegal guys are in the ring. I don't know how the match was disqualified. If you could tell me how this match was disqualified, please leave a comment in the comments below or tweet at me at the Raw Loaf. But in the end, Braun Strowman joins up with the Dolph, and I don't know why I'm having the hardest time with Dolph and Drew. Like, I want to create a name for them so bad, and I just can't nail it. It's been 3 weeks now and I can't do it. But Braun Strowman goes in there and they just start tearing apart Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose's music hits. Dean Ambrose comes out, of course, even though he's new and improved, he can't take on all three of them. And then Seth Rollins' music hits, of course. He's got like a broken shoulder from his match with Kevin Owens, so he gets laid out. And at the end of the night, it's the three, Dolph, Drew, and Braun. DDB. Maybe this is an homage to DDP. Dolph, Drew, and Braun standing in the middle of the ring. Braun Strowman raises the hands of the tag team that he was just facing against as though they're the winners. And everybody's booing. Kinda, not everybody, but a lot of people are booing right now. And so Braun grabs his arms again and raises them again. So that covered this week's Raw, but let's take a look at what's gonna happen on Raw next Monday.
The future is now.
So next week, the Bella Twins are actually going to be wrestling against the Riot Squad. And then we have the B Team taking on the Revival again, except this time, the title is on the line. Because Dumbo of the Week, Baron Corbin, says, we're putting the title on the line. And finally, after we have been told 20 times at Raw, HBK is going to be there. So thanks for tuning into this week of the Raw Loaf. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it. Watch past episodes. You know this whole thing. Like, comment below. Tweet me at the Raw Loaf or use the hashtag the Raw Loaf. I want to get more of your tweets on the show, but I want you to use the Raw Loaf because that makes it so much easier for me. You can like the Facebook page, facebook.com/the Raw Loaf. Subscribe here, the most important thing probably, and we'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. for the SmackDown review.